What's up, everyone? This is time to wrestle with Suplexus. I'm Suplexus, and this is
Piledriver!
And today we're gonna do our predictions for Summerslam Detroit Edition 2023.
You know what Detroit is? According to Kiss, it's Detroit Rock City.
The Rock City.
Maybe.
Alright, let's get started with the first match without further ado. The Slim Jim Battle Royal.
Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah!
And the winner gets a Slim Jim, probably.
They could have just made it the Macho Man Memorial Slim Jim or something. Because, I hear Slim Jim, and all my old ass thinks about is the Macho Man.
Yeah.
You're going to have to read out all the names, because I don't know who's in this match.
So, currently announced, L.A. Knight. Yeah. It's a shameful thing.
Lobster Head.
Sheamus. Tommaso Ciampa. Okay. Goldie. We got Shinsuke Nakamura. We got Otis.
Okay.
And we have Chad Gable.
So that's all they've announced so far?
Yeah.
How many is that?
That is 6 people.
Oh, okay. So Battle Royal. What do you think they'll do? Like a 20-man Battle Royal?
Maybe. Yeah, 20. 20?
20 is
30.
30s. I think 30 is too much.
They've done 41 before.
I know.
You never know.
Yeah. So a lot of names to be added, but obviously the winner's probably amongst the people who are in there. Unless there's a surprise. There is a rumor that Bobby Roode might be okay to come back. So I would assume Matt Riddle will get thrown in there.
Probably.
He's kind of like being jobbed out a little bit.
The Miz.
Yeah. Maybe the rest of Imperium.
Yeah.
So the usuals. Okay, so out of those, I have to go with LA Knight. Only because part of me feels like they just kind of made up this match to give him some sort of win. Because he's just so hot right now with the crowd.
Who I think is going to win, LA Knight. I would like for Edge to come back, though. And win.
How prestigious, added to the list of prestigious accomplishments Edge already has, would Slim Jim be, though?
Not too much.
He doesn't really need it.
Unless he makes a challenge for a title shot.
No, I could see him coming back and being in the Battle Royal, but he'd have to be one of the final people, and it would have to be the way he lost leads up to some sort of storyline, maybe final storyline, if the rumors are correct and he's wanting to not resign.
The fact that he isn't on the show, I gotta say, though, that's a crime.
Yeah.
And looking back, like, this Battle Royal, the last one that happened like this was Survivor Series, I believe, for the Golden Egg. When they brought that in from the Red Notice movie.
Yeah.
And where did that go?
Austin Theory. That's where it went. And
he wasn't even in it. So
okay, so both of us, LA Knight. So far, it's a tie. We both lose or we both win?
Tie. Yeah! Alright, next is Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey in a MMA rules match.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that this Monday, the video packages and the interviews they did totally got me into this match. I was, I wasn't uninterested, but I wasn't super interested until I saw those video packages. Now, I cannot wait to see it. And I gotta say, and I know I predicted the last one first. You don't mind if I do mine first?
Yeah, I don't mind.
I gotta say, I think that Shayna's gonna win. I think Ronda is gonna put Shayna over. Because Shayna's sticking around with wrestling, and I don't think Ronda is. I think Ronda's ready to go back to MMA or do something else for a little while, or just be someone who pops in sometimes.
Yeah. I have a different prediction. I think this is the beginning of a longer story. I think Ronda Rousey wins with some cheap tactic. And by the way, MMA rules, I'm assuming the rules of this match are knockout or submission. Because when I've watched UFC, that's what it's like.
Yeah, it's definitely not an MMA match. So it's not like actual Ronda Rousey versus actual Shayna Baszler. It's WWE Ronda Rousey character versus WWE Shayna Baszler character. So like regardless of like the rules set, like that's like predetermined for sure.
I'm gonna go with Ronda, and I just thought about this. Maybe that whole MMA rules, I know it's part of the feud, but it also might have something to do with that Endeavor deal, you think? Coming up with the UFC and WWE?
Yeah, possibly like a crossover, but I don't know. I don't know how they would work if they haven't worked it in as part of the match by now. I don't know how much part of the match it's going to end up being. But do you see any of the so out of the Ronda's four horsewomen, right? Her and Sheena, and then Marina Shafir is in AEW, so she's not going to show up. But I can't remember the other one's name. What was her name?
Jessamine
Yeah,
Duke.
Jessamine Duke. Do you foresee her? I don't know if she's signed anywhere else, or I don't know if she's still wrestling. But do you see her coming back and showing up and helping Shayna win because she does the same kind of thing? And she's like, "Yeah, Ronda, like you did all the same things like the Shayna, like you weren't there for us, we were there for you," and helps her out.
I don't think so.
And then they become a tag team.
To me, it'd be like them bringing Zoe Stark up when she's not ready, because this person, I have no idea what their promos are like. And based on WWE's track record with checking people up too early to the main roster, I don't think it'd go too well. To me, this is a feud between Ronda and Sheena strictly.
Okay, that's fair. All right, next match.
Next match is Logan Paul versus one and only Ricochet.
Okay, you can go.
Shout out to Stomping Grounds when Piledriver and I were there to watch him win the US title.
Yeah, Suplexus and I embraced in a hug just naturally when he won.
Yeah, again, Samosa Joe.
You know what? Maybe for old time's sake, when Ricochet wins, agree?
Yeah.
We should do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So because that's like Ricochet's winning. Neither of us are ever going to say Logan Paul, even if we think it's Logan Paul.
Yeah. Not really. I think it's Logan Paul.
What?
Yeah. Easy way to get heat. That's all.
No, it's got to be Ricochet. He can't say that stuff about Ricochet's fiance, one of the best ring announcers that I've heard, and then win the match. That's bad guy. You gotta balance the bad with the good. The bad has happened. Now we need the good.
The story never ends. Ricochet. For Ricochet, the story never ends.
Triple H over now.
As Paul Triple H Levesque would say, the story never ends.
Never ending story. Okay, next match.
Alright. The next one is Drew McIntyre versus the General Gunther.
Did you miss Angela?
Angela?
His sword.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Just asking. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
Alright, who do you think's gonna win?
I'm gonna go new Intercontinental Champion Drew McIntyre.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, I watched wrestling back into the day. I'm a fan of the Honky Tonk Man. Honky Tonk Man's up here somewhere, isn't he? In the autographs. Okay, but I'm a fan of the Honky Tonk Man. Yeah, wasn't the best wrestler, but it was entertaining, and I was a kid. I was younger than that. You're not a kid anymore, but you know what I mean. I was young. I like the but apparently a lot of people don't like the Honky Tonk Man, and I feel like WWE doesn't want this belt over here, except a black, instead a black belt instead of a white belt.
WWF logo.
Yeah, WWF. They don't want this longest reign to be with the Honky Tonk Man for some reason, and that's why I think Gunther is going to retain. They're not going to get this close to breaking the honkometer. You don't remember the honkometer?
Santino Marella.
Yeah, you're not going to get someone to get rid of the honkometer, get this close and not do it. Okay, they're gonna have a Gunther meter maybe next.
Yep.
A chopometer, something. But they're not gonna
an Imperium meter.
Imperium meter. They're gonna he's gonna beat the record. So as much as I would love to see Drew win, he's not gonna win. it's almost like 3-on-1 because there's gonna be like shenanigans and stuff. I don't know. I'm retention from Gunther.
I'll tell you what. If Vince is in the arena, it's gonna be a DQ finish where Drew wins at the next show.
He had that back surgery. I don't think he's gonna be in the arena.
You never know with Vince. He can make a secret phone call. He's been doing that from Connecticut.
But he's
for
also
years.
all about like having the new wrestlers beat some of the old reigns and stuff. So.
Unless it's Goldberg.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. So that's okay. So we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Next match.
The next match is for the WWE not undisputed Women's Championship between Charlotte, Bianca Belair, and Asuka in a triple threat match.
I gotta go with Asuka. They're not really doing much with Asuka. They've kind of changed her character. I like what they're doing, but they're not diving deep enough for me. I'd like them to see them dive a little bit deeper. Charlotte's a great wrestler, but the character Charlotte and the way that she cuts the promos and constantly acts like a heel even when she's a face drives me nuts a little bit. So I'm gonna have to go with Asuka. And Bianca, like, I think Asuka retains and it leads to more dissension between Bianca and Charlotte. I think Bianca and Charlotte not getting along and slowly disliking each other more and more is the actual storyline of this belt. This title match has nothing to do with the actual champion. So yeah. I think that dissension is going to continue. And I don't see them putting the belt on one of them to continue that story. I think if they keep it on Asuka, they can use Asuka's championship belt to form some new stars, get some new storylines going while still continuing to have this rivalry. I also can see them giving it to Charlotte just to stack up her wins. Like, I totally see that happening. Yeah. But I'm going to say officially Asuka retains, but this leads to a better, longer story between Bianca and Charlotte.
I've got one question before I share my prediction. Do you think we see this after the match?
Oh, that's right. Io's got that. You know what? If Asuka retains, I think it's very likely that Io cashes in.
Cash in!
Because then it would be Io and Asuka feuding. Because Asuka would then try to get the belt back, and we would get our Io-Asuka feud that we've been wanting. And I cannot wait to hear them yell at each other in Japanese and not knowing what they're saying. Except the baka baka baka. That one I got. Yeah. The rest of it, I will not know what they're saying, and I will thoroughly enjoy that. So I hope there's a cash-in. I think there's going to be a cash-in attempt, and I think that Shotzi's going to stop it.
Ooh. I think something does happen in the match. That's a good theory. I don't know why. I can also see Bayley turning heel. She's already a heel. Turning on Io is what I need to see. But I think it might be too early for that. WWE's into LTB, long-term booking lately, so they might not do that right now. They'll have to be seen soon.
And Suplexus, you brought out the Money in the Bank, and that's got me excited. I knew that this triple threat would be a good match because they're like amazing wrestlers. But now that you've reminded me of this, I have intrigue into how the storyline, regardless of who wins, can unravel and tie into some other storylines that are happening. So that excites me. I guess you're right, Triple H. The story never ends.
Anyways, I do not think this is going to get cashed in either. So I'm going to prop this right back here. If it stands up, there you go.
Next match.
Asuka retains.
Asuka retains, yeah.
Yeah. The next match is for the World Heavyweight Championship. And it is between Finn Balor and Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good one. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win?
I think...
He's thinking on the spot. On the spot.
This is a tough one.
Can I go first then?
Yes.
Love Seth. Seth is great. What has Seth done with
You
this
got a
title
shirt?
since he's gotten it? What has Seth done with the title though since he's gotten it? Not a whole lot. So does he retain so that he could do something with something that he hasn't done anything with? Or does he give it to Finn and then the Judgment Day all have belts and Damian Priest has the Money in the Bank? Am I going over your head here? The Money in the Bank.
I'll hold it up.
And then when the Judgment Day come out, they all have something. And then it can do the whole dissension of Damian Priest keeps looking over at Finn with his belt, thinking, I'm going to cash it in. I'm going to cash it in. It also, and I know we haven't talked about it yet, could lead to something where Damian Priest starts hinting a cash in on Roman if he retains or Jay if he wins, like whatever. You have to listen, keep listening to see what we think is going to happen there. But it could lead to something there, a little bit of a
Yeah.
storyline. He pops in on the other show every now and then because Bloodline storyline, one of the best storylines ever. Super hot still, right? But, hold on. The story is going to come to an end. I just have to cover his ears. And so I think that the Judgment Day is the next big faction that's going to have this storyline that kind of bleeds into the other shows. It's already bleeding into NXT. And it's already bled into SmackDown, especially when they fight like Kevin and Sammy. So I think that it's the best choice for my entertainment value. And Seth can do something else for a little bit.
I I've got a wacky prediction I thought of.
Okay.
So the story they've been telling is the Judgment Day wants to get the title off Seth. Right now, they're focusing on Finn Balor mainly, of course. But remember, the first person to fight Seth was Damian Priest, and then Finn Balor. Two guys from the Judgment Day. Even Dominic, he might have gotten a title shot in there. I can't remember because Raw's pretty boring. But anyways, I think the story is gonna be they're fighting, and then Seth does a powerbomb into the barricade, and Finn sells it like something happened, like Summerslam 2016. And Damian Priest runs in, he makes it a three-way, and he pins Seth Rollins.
Oh.
And then what he says to Finn Balor is
I love you, I'm sorry.
that we had to get to the title off Seth Rollins. The Judgment Day needs that title, so he thinks it's okay. What do you think?
That's good. I like it. I thought your prediction might have Farquaad in it a little bit.
I don't think it's time for JD.
I called JD. Looking at Farquaad. Reminds me of him. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's good. Yeah. It's interesting. It's like that would be awesome if Seth got screwed out of his title in the same way that he screwed Roman out of his title. Right?
Yeah.
Like that would that'd be very interesting because Seth and Roman stablemates for a long time, and Finn and Damian stablemates, right? So I like that. Well done, well predicted.
Thank you.
All right, do we have the last match now?
Oh, we forgot one, and the story is quite forgettable at this point. Cody Rhodes versus Brock.
Why, Brock? Tell me why you're mad at Cody. Just make something up so that I can move on and enjoy your match the whole time. All I can think about is why, Brock? Why? Tell me why.
Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Doesn't even have to be a good reason. Doesn't even have to. It could be, oh, he doesn't like steak. I'd believe that Brock Lesnar would beat the crap out of someone because they don't like steak. I'd believe that.
Well, they did give a reason, but I think we all want to forget it. Brock Lesnar wasn't happy that he kicked off WrestleMania, and he thought Omos versus Brock Lesnar should headline over Roman versus Cody, a 50-year story. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is too intelligent to have made that kind of decision. He's a meaty man, but he is not a meathead. All right, who do you think is going to win?
I think adrenaline. Wait, let's do the whole thing. Adrenaline in my soul.
Every
Every
fight out of control.
do it all to get them off
The
the.
feet. Okay, people don't have to hear us sing.
But Cody's father did say one thing that gave him the adrenaline in his soul to win this. Hard times, you better man.
Better man. So you think it's Cody?
Yeah,
Blood?
yeah.
I think Brock Lesnar is going to beat the living crap out of Cody. I think Cody is going to bleed by accident. And I think that he's going to beat him up so bad that Brandy's going to run into the ring and ask him to stop. And that's going to be her introduction into the WWE universe, back into the WWE universe.
Throw in the towel.
Throw in the towel, jump on, like kind of like Beth did with Edge, right?
Yep.
Like just get him to stop, and Brock will then eventually stop, right? Because he's not Randy Orton. He's not going to RKO her out of nowhere. Yeah, so that's what I think. I think Brock's going to win, and I think Cody's going to get the crap built out. Because I feel like more fans love Cody if he like stands up to someone like Brock and he fights as hard as he can and he loses. That doesn't hurt his character. That is his character. He never gives up. Hard times breed better men. It's going to be hard times for you though, Cody, because you're going to get cut open hard way, man.
But my thing, they could only go so far with that. Night of Champions, hard times be better men. That was his story. They already did that.
That's his catchphrase.
Res-
That is Cody Rhodes. He is hard times.
WrestleMania, hard times be better men. Hell in a Cell last year. Well, hard times made him beat Seth, but still, he got injured. Hard times be better men.
We're still in the hard times phase. We're not in the better men section yet. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to come at WrestleMania when he finally wins the belt.
But they gotta set up him being a better man.
If he can take a beat down, and I'm sure he's going to beat up, and Brock Lesnar is going to make the faces that he makes, like, oh, I'm so shocked you're so strong, right? Like, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good story, a good match. They're going to take it to each other, but in the end, Cody just couldn't do it. He made a mistake. Something happened that caused Brock to get the upper hand. Maybe Brock gets DQ'd and it's not like an actual win. I don't know, but I'm going with Brock. Brock is going to be standing tall at the end, and Cody's going to be beat down, and Brandy's going to jump in, and that's the only reason Brock is going to stop, because Brock really wants to beat the crap out of Cody, and he hates Cody. Why? I don't know.
Wait, I have a shot in the dark prediction. The past 3 years at Summerslam, we've gotten shocking returns. Roman 2020, Brock Lesnar, Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
I think Randy Orton's jumping Cody after he beats Lesnar.
Apparently he's not ready, though, according to the reports.
They've told us that before about people.
It's not cleared. He could, like, maybe do, like, an appearance, but, like, actually wrestling, I don't think he... And I guess, like, that's all Damage Control did, is they just kind of showed up. They didn't do much, right? But, yeah. Okay.
I don't always believe dirt sheets nowadays. Sometimes I do, sometimes not.
Well, not the dirt sheets, but the actual reporting is what I'm talking about.
I'll see.
Okay.
I don't believe them still. Always.
Shall we do the last match then? Unless we missed another one.
I have one match that might happen. It's not looking like it. They might announce this. Say Rhea Raquel does happen.
It won't. Raquel's injured.
Kayfabe, isn't it?
No, she's actually
Oh.
dislocated her kneecap apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Main
It's
event.
time for a dramatic intro.
Let's go.
What started in the state of Florida, just two childhood cousins playing around, having fun. Then went a few years ago, about 10 years ago actually. They're a tag team, they're baby faces running the place, so everyone booed them. Then it continued. Jay got a title shot. Roman didn't like it. An I Quit match. It went to an I Quit match. Then it went to 2 years of brainwashing. Then that all changed. The chair shot heard around the world at the Royal Rumble. And then, Night of Champions, Jimmy turns on Roman. Jay pins Roman at Money in the Bank. 3 years in the making. But for these two, Roman and Jay, when they're kids, it might be 35 years in the making since they saw their elders do it. The wrestling.
The wrestling. That's what his grandpa does. He puts the in front of things like, currently you're watching the YouTube.
Anyways, tribal combat. No DQ.
We think. Oh, no, they said it. They said it. Okay, no DQ.
And Michael Cole will tell us the rules however many times he wants to.
Oh, he will remind us constantly.
But I want to say some things before the actual prediction.
Okay.
Do you think, I know it's on the spot, do you think anything's going to be different aside from a normal no DQ match? Do they have any Samoan things? Any elders out there? Anything of that kind?
Are you going to put your little, this guy get your Roman Reigns stuff going here? Yeah. That would be part of a prediction though, I think, right? If you think something's going to.
So, but I just want to ask you, do you think it's just a straight up no DQ match?
I think like the tribal combat, like I think it would be cool if the elders came out and they were like judges. So like, you know, when we watch like Ring of Honor and they have like the 3 judges come out and they're like, if it goes to a time limit draw, then the judges decide who the winner is. It'd be kind of neat if they did that a little bit with like 3 elders. So 3 elders come out and they sit there and they're watching the match the whole time. Because then Roman can do one of the things he's really good at is like while he's doing his rest holds, he can like drag, and Jay can do it with Roman as well, but they can drag each other over to where the judges are and like start talking crap into the camera and like saying things to the judges, especially if one of the judges is Rikishi.
Yep.
Right? Like imagine like Roman bringing him over to his father and then talking crap about him to his father, who is one of the judges, right? So that like it would just add an interesting layer. Oh, one of the judges, The Rock.
I was thinking that. I just thought, imagine 2 of them don't agree on the result, and then probably Michael Cole comes out and he's like, there's one more judge, and then The Rock comes out.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think having The Rock there as one of the judges, as fantastic as it would be as like a wrestling fan and like future storyline, blah, 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 I think that the fans would hijack the show and start chanting The Rock, Rocky, Rock, you know, like things like that. Like they could hijack the show, especially because Roman matches often start a little slower. Yeah. And in the beginnings, it takes a little bit for the crowd to really get into like a Roman match. And so, but you know, like once you're in, like then the matches are great. But I think like in the beginning, having The Rock out there would open the door for some fan hijacking, which happens. Like we've been to a lot of wrestling shows, and sometimes, you know, and the fans are having a little bit of fun with their chants.
Seth Iron Man match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was the worst case. Anyways, I'm gonna say, okay, I got a prediction for the entire ending. It's appearing that it's a Jay's story, right? To beat Roman. That's what they're setting up. Or it's Roman's story to solidify himself as the chief. We find out whose story it is after the match, I think. Here's how it goes. They're having a great match, but at the end of the match, Roman retains. It's a clean match, right? No BS. They get the spotlight. 2 cousins go at it. Mm-hmm. Roman wins. He calls out Solo. He's like, okay, I want you to kick Jay's ass, basically. Solo's still coming out, but then Jimmy jumps him. There's a whole brawl, but at the end of the brawl, like Solo's standing tall. So this is how it goes, okay? I'm gonna map it out. In one corner of the ring, Roman setting up to spear Jay. Solo's gonna do the spike to Jay,
Mm-hmm.
but when Roman runs at him, all of a sudden he lets go of Jay and spikes Roman,
Mm.
and the crowd goes nuts. And then Solo's like, "You're not my tribal chief. I'm gonna be the tribal chief," or he says something like
He
that.
just picks up the, I forget what, it's not a lei, but the red necklace thing,
Yeah.
and then he puts it on, and he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So,
So-
you think Roman's gonna win?
Yeah, and by the end of the match, I think Roman gets pissed at Heyman. Heyman walks out on Roman too. Everyone's gone. Remember that closing image of WrestleMania? Cody Rhodes saying, "I'm sorry," sitting in the ring? Similar one with Roman Reigns, I think. Closes SummerSlam, and it mirrors a bit.
Okay.
It's a mirror image.
No chicken though.
Maybe a chicken on a motorbike. I don't know. It's Detroit.
Okay.
Crazy.
Good prediction. I think Roman's gonna retain. I think that he's just gonna beat Jay. I think it'd be great if there were some, but I think that it needs to build to the last chapter, perhaps, until he ends up losing his belt. So I think having something with Solo involved would be interesting. I think if Rikishi was ringside, like they had three judges kind of thing, and Roman kept talking smack to Rikishi about his kid. Well, that's talking smack to Solo's dad. So I think that would also add a little bit of masala into the mix, so to speak, to spice it up a little bit as well with a Solo. But I think you're right. I think Roman wins, and then somehow this match leads to Roman Solo. Whether the Paul Heyman aspect, whether Paul Heyman stays or leaves, because one of the big issues that Jay had was I'm in if he's out. Like if I'm in, he's out kind of thing. So I feel like if he was out, even though Roman wins the match clean, like Jay would be back in. Like Jay's issue is with the way Roman treats him, and he seems to blame that on Paul Heyman in a way because he did that out kind of thing. So I don't know if the Heyman part would happen yet, because that would be a reason for Jay to come back to Roman. Unless Solo turns on Roman and then Roman goes to Jay after and he's like, "Look, I beat you fair and square. I'm your tribal chief. You wanted Heyman out. He's out. Are you in?" And then maybe Jimmy and Jay do join Roman again. I don't know. I don't know how many kids, cousins, and stuff they have. So, yeah.
I just think that the most impactful way to end it, Jay doesn't take the title, he doesn't take the Roman's reign, but he does take the tribe from the chief. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Well, SummerSlam, are we excited?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
the ones.
This way. You don't know if I'm doing the ones or the twos.
Or the middle finger.
Well, you know, because I called the prediction. All right, but it should be a good show, good match card. We talked about having perhaps the elders in the match at the end. Were there any other returns or anything that you want to throw out there as possibilities?
I mean, there's always The Rock, but
I don't see them doing The Rock and not advertising to sell tickets and merch and make money. You're not going to pay him to come and not maximize profits.
They did that with Cena and Lesnar. They did that in 2011 with The Rock on a random episode of Raw.
They could do a video of some sort that sets him up for coming back. So then it builds to sell and make money and whatever, but I don't know. I don't know if they would do like, the big SummerSlam thing. Like we've been to SummerSlam and they have like all the meet and greets and all the everything's, right? Money. Like why wouldn't you have a big name like The Rock is one of those like meet and greet big name attraction kind of things if he was there. So okay. Anyone else you thinking of?
I mean, there's always Edge. He can. I don't know if that'd be a return. He's returned like 10 times since he's done his actual return from the triple fusion neck surgery. He's returned 10 times probably by now.
I think what would be cool is if the Shayna Ronda match was before the Seth Finn match, and maybe somehow like with the entrances, you know how sometimes like the entrances overlap. Shayna's leaving after she wins, and Rhea's coming in with Finn.
Oh,
Just so they cross paths in the back, like you know how they do like a backstage interview, and Rhea's going out there, like for the Finn to walk in with Finn, and Shayna's like they're getting interviewed, and they do like a little stare down. I would love that because you know, like yeah, I know they're building to Raquel, but they could still have a little stare down. Like you keep that in your back pocket, right,
yeah,
for later, and maybe if Raquel isn't going to be back for a little bit, there's something you can do in between.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there is one other thing I was gonna mention way back to the Oscar match. I I've heard like things about Charlotte Bianca WrestleMania. I think they do that right after that feud. I
Yeah.
I think
You know, they could keep them both out of the Royal Rumble by doing it there.
yeah.
Right. But yeah.
The money lies in Rhea Bianca, I think. That's the money match.
Mm, yeah. Other than that, I don't know if I think any like is John Cena going to come out and be like, Detroit, Rock City, do you guys want to have WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know about that. So that'd be pretty
Well, Grayson Waller's been calling out legends. Maybe someone comes. Maybe he does another segment.
Jason Waller does a segment. Who is the legend that comes out?
I don't think it'll be The Rock. The Rock would only come out for Roman Reigns. That's
Although he has called out The Rock online, apparently, Grayson Waller.
Christian's in AEW. That'd be funny to me if he fought Edge and then Christian came along. Yeah. Randy, he could make a cameo.
Well, they could just do something with someone who's on the show that doesn't have a match right now, like a Sami Zayn, just to have a funny interaction, get the crowd chanting Sami, right? Like they always pop for Sami since Kevin's injured. It could just be something basic like that too. I don't know. Johnny Gargano in the Royal Rumble return, maybe him and Ciampa, kind of like DIY reunion while they're in the match.
Nakamura. Maybe I hope we got Nakamura and Bronson versus DIY. That'd be good.
I want DIY to go all the way to Owens and Sammy.
Yeah. To kick off, I mean, that feud.
Yeah. But should be a great card. I'm looking forward to watching it. We're probably going to have KFC while we watch it.
Yep.
KFC fist bump.
Scissor me. Why not? Ah!
All right, well, thanks for watching.
We the ones.